Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Eric Elkins from Wide Focus Social Media. Eric, thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be here, Seth.
Let's go back in time a little bit. How'd you get into the business in the first place?
I had been working in the media in the newspaper business, and then I had moved into starting a startup for Scripps Harrison Media News Group. We created a social network before there were social networks, and it was a little ahead of its time, I guess. The higher ups didn't really get what we were doing, so it only lasted about a year and a half. Moved on to a PR agency where I was their new media manager, and from there to a startup that was looking to do social media as a way to drive more business. And when things kind of went sideways there, I decided to start my own company. That was back in 2007, summer of 2007, actually, so almost 16 years ago. And started out really doing marketing consulting, but realized that more and more people were asking me for help with social media. And when I had a pretty influential meeting with one of the VPs, or one of the venture capital guys from the previous startup, and he said, "Hey, pull up your website for a second. I want to show you something." And I pull up this website where I have marketing consulting and PR help and sponsorship sales and copywriting. And he says, "See how you have social media way at the bottom of all that stuff? Just move that to the top and get rid of it, and you're going to be busier than you can imagine." And that was fall of 2007. And I was like, that sounds like a great idea. Literally the next networking event I went to, someone said, what do you do? And I said, I do social media. And she said, "We need so much help with that. Can I get your card?" And it just kind of flew from there. So some really good advice at the right time got me here 16 years later doing my thing.
Well, congratulations. I'm sure that longer version of that story could probably be in a book somewhere. So do you remember what industry the first client was in?
The first social media client was, it was actually a digital agency called me in to help them with a new client that was coming in where they needed a new website and lots of digital help, but they needed social media as well. And so they called me in because they didn't know how to do that. And they said, "We'll farm that work out to you. Come into the pitch and show them what you can do." And so that was a digital agency that was selling to a software company, but the first big independent client was Sears Holdings. So
wow.
Yeah.
How the heck did you get in the door at Sears?
A really good introduction and a real need at that time in late 2007 for social media help. They didn't know even what to look at or what to do. They knew user-generated content was really important. Their marketing director and their VP of marketing knew they needed help, and they reached out to a copywriter in their roster who said, "Talk to Eric." And that really got us off the ground.
I would imagine a marquee client like that would help. Now, you left to start your own company in 2007. Great. So I started mine in 2007. Great moments in business timing, right as the subprime bubble burst and we went into a recession. How'd that go over?
People thought I was crazy. I didn't have any money in the bank. I was a single dad. So I'm a single dad. Had a daughter at the time who was very young. I didn't really feel like I had a choice. I was I really wanted to focus on something I could do well and on my own. And I was kind of tired of answering to other people. And, I think what happened was it was a kind of a confluence of good things for me. First, everybody needed help with social media. It was really just getting rolling and they didn't know what to do about it, but they also didn't have the budget to add to their headcount. So every time there was something more about an economic slowdown or a recession, I'd get more calls of people saying, we need help with this, but we can't hire an FTE. Can you help? And it's kind of my pitch now for companies who are, kind of struggling with headcount and worried about the weirdness of the economy right now. I say for the cost of an FTE, you get an entire team doing the work. You're not adding to the headcount and you're getting all the best people doing the best work. So I think I lucked out in some ways because I don't know if it would have gone as well for me as it did without that demand coming up just when people needed to cut back on their budgets.
Absolutely. I left a Fortune 500 company to start my firm and went into debt to start the company. So I can certainly resemble your remarks. Now, the business has obviously evolved and grown a heck of a lot since then. Talk a little bit about the journey.
Yeah, it's been full of ups and downs. Honestly, things are rough right now, rougher than they've been in a long time, just in terms of finding those clients again. But it's been a learning process and it's been really rewarding overall. Like I have an amazing team working with me. And over the last 15, 16 years, I've met incredible people. We've had wonderful clients. I've learned a lot about managing and leading. I've learned much more about business operations than I ever thought I would.
Or wanted to.
Yeah, it's a little terrifying sometimes because I've had to get outside help to really understand P&Ls and, how to price things. And I've learned to ask for help and to find those experts who can really get me where I need to be. And I've also learned to be a kind and caring and supportive owner / leader / manager. And it's made a big difference in the quality of the work and the quality of people who've worked with us and in my own well-being as well, to become a kinder, gentler boss.
Absolutely. Talk about the composition. Is the team all remote? Are they hybrid, some physical, some remote? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, all remote since 2020, March of 2020, when, the world went sideways. Our lease ended right after that. We never renewed it. We went 100% remote from there on out. It's been, of course, I miss my team. I miss seeing them every week at least. Literally just got back from brunch with my leadership team to catch up in person. But it's provided a lot of freedom to me and to the team. It's given us the opportunity to really dig for better or for stronger talent. We're not limited by geography. So we can find people all over the country who are good at what they do and bring them on board. And we found really smart ways to build a cohesive culture and to help people feel valued and keep them productive, whether they're working from a coffee shop or from home or from a patio in Mexico.
Which segues perfectly into my next question. How do you build and maintain that culture when your team is, not all in one location?
Yeah, I was really worried about it when we first went remote, especially because people were pretty concerned about their lives and about COVID. And, the job was really important, but also just kind of making it through was important. And we learned early on that open and honest and clear communication has become, it's really on the team and also with our clients to make sure that we're really authentic in the way that we communicate. We know when our team members are feeling down or disconnected, and we make real efforts to connect them back in. Our operations director has this magical ability to know the right gift at the right time to show up on someone's doorstep. We do team meetings multiple times a week, and then every month we do a big monthly meeting where it's a lunch and learn, and a lot of times we'll order lunch for everybody or send them Grubhub gift cards to use for that day. And sometimes it's a lesson about how to write better ads or some new social media trends that everybody should know about. But sometimes it's like someone's passion project. Hey, I'm going to teach you how to taste wine today. And we send everybody wine. So we found ways to make people feel they're part of the team, even when they're far away from each other, and keep that open communication. Slack's been a wonder for us. Zoom is amazing. And last year for our 15th anniversary, we flew the whole team out to Denver and got some really good in-person time. And we want to do that every year because that really helped as well.
I bet those are great ideas. Obviously, the business has evolved over the last 16 plus years. Who's an ideal client for you now?
On the B2B side, it's a tech or a SaaS company where they are looking to drive more thought leadership, more awareness for their products and services. They might have a small marketing team, but they don't have the internal resources to run paid and organic social that's going to drive more results and get them more visibility and reach and drive more signups and leads. On the B2C side, it's usually a company with, again, a small marketing team, and some of them with pretty large ones, but who have the resources and the budget to farm out social because they know it's going to be done better that way. So those companies are looking to drive more visibility and reach, increase their awareness, their engagement, and drive more qualified website traffic that's trackable back to social. So usually marketing directors, CMOs who don't have the internal resources to run social 100% on their own are the ones who come to us for that ongoing strategic support, community management, and real-time engagement.
Awesome. And you mentioned you have to keep your fingers in a lot of pies. You've got your clients in the industries they are in addition to everything going on in the world of marketing and social media. How do you balance that all? How do you juggle it?
The most important thing is to have a team that's engaged and that wants to learn and that is always looking for that next new thing. I'm keeping, an eye on things on a macro level and getting the feedback from my team. So our ad strategist is constantly in the weeds with what's new in Meta, what's going on with TikTok, how is LinkedIn using advertising, and our community managers are engaged in real time and what's the most engaging kind of content and what's working on an organic and a paid level. And our director of strategy and relationships is overseeing the best modes of communication and ways to engage with our team and our clients. And our operations director is all about processes and finding the tools that are going to make those processes work. And I get to be the lucky one who just absorbs it all and listens and helps make those final decisions. But really, I trust my team to come up with the best results. And then I get to learn from them and speak intelligently about it because I have people who are so engaged that way.
What are some of the things that you're working on now in terms of like staying on top of the cutting edge and what's coming next?
Yeah. So we really have our ear to the ground on the channels that are up and coming and that are providing real results for our clients. Meta is still going to be the behemoth that's always there. And because our target audiences or our clients' target audiences are always there, for that, it's really focusing on the types of content and the ad programs and the things that are going to work to help keep those people engaged. Messenger bots are very high on our radar right now. Video content is huge. TikTok is emerging more and more as more of a mainstream way to get in front of larger audiences. It's not just for kids anymore. So we're very focused this year on improving TikTok presence and finding and creating good processes because it is labor intensive to create videos. So working with partners and finding cost-effective ways to create content there. And then I think just overall, just really looking at the trends and the types of content that are resonating for audiences. Video is huge, but Instagram's coming back to slideshows and to still images as highly engaging. So we're keeping track of that. And just like looking at what's coming next. I know right now, a lot of companies are sort of scaling back on their marketing budgets, and especially on the paid side, which means companies that are leaning in and keeping those budgets where they are gaining market share because they're playing on an empty field. So they don't have, if the competition's, not spending and not marketing as much, it's a huge opportunity to build more market share and visibility. And so we're really keeping an eye on how to maximize those spends and get the money to go further, especially now when everything's on sale.
With all the success you've been able to achieve, not only for your own business, but also for your clients, what's your biggest challenge now?
Right now, it's just getting more clients. Like, it's just people are on the edge, and it's a lot harder right now to get someone to pull the trigger on spending money on marketing. It's been a really interesting road. I feel like there's some brightening, and the companies who come from referrals from previous clients or other clients tend to trust that we're going to move the needle for them, and they come in strong. But some of those cold clients and just, out there spearfishing for some good new clients, that's been the biggest challenge is just to get them to understand the value of hiring us and to give us the time to prove our worth. That's definitely been a challenge these last few months.
For sure. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
I love working with my team, and I love helping the fact that we really help companies grow. I have this amazing team of warm, friendly, intelligent, engaged professionals, and we all are so satisfied when a client is doing well, and when we can see the results in our monthly reports and show them the good news. That tends to obviously gets us more business and keeps us in business, but it's also it's really fulfilling for us as a team to be able to make a difference and to help others.
That makes a lot of sense. For our folks watching or listening who want to learn more about you and all things Wide Focus, where's the best place for them to go?
You can email me, Eric at Wide Focus. That's WIDEFOC.us. Go to our website, which actually is in the process of being redesigned, but it's fine as it is. And that's WIDEFOC.us, or look up Wide Focus social media on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. We're all over the place.
Awesome. Well, this has been Seth Greene with Eric Elkins from Wide Focus Social. Eric, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Seth. Good to chat.
Thanks for everybody for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level, but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.